making an illuminated tunnel book, which is a project I've been wanting to do for a little while, and I also wanted it to be a clear cover so that you could peep through my outer die, which is this lovely gate, and have a glimpse into the garden scene beyond. So I've called it A Glimpse into the Paradise Garden, and I've illuminated it using LED lights, which if I switch on I'll show you. And so you're able to see a sunset scene at the back of the book. And if I bring it close, you can see the glimpse into the garden beyond as you peep through the gate. But of course that is the cover of the book, and the way to see the scene properly is to open it. So I've got ribbons which go through punched holes at the side of my book, which I've made of laminated card, and I've put wooden beads adhered at the sides to hold them in place, so that when you open the book, your tunnel scene springs forth. And this shows the garden in all its glory. I thought I'd just take you through my method for creating my tunnel book scene. It is made entirely of white cardstock, 250 grams per square metre, and each card is 14.8 centimetres squared. And you might wonder why I'm using such a funny amount, but actually if you use 14.8 instead of 15 centimetres, you can get 2 cards out per A4 sheet of card, so it makes it more economical, and it is so close to the classic 6-inch square that it really doesn't make any difference. I've taken the first panel, there are 7 in total. The first one is basically forming the frame, and I've cut that out using wavy edge dies, and I've embossed it, so it's a bit like having a theatre proscenium arch to set the scene. And then behind it I've got a wide scene which is just 1.5 centimetres in from either side, and I've used partial die cutting to create the foliage effect of the garden. And then the one behind, I've come in just a little bit further, another centimetre either side, because by decreasing that shape in the middle, you get that sense of perspective. And again, I'm just using partial die cuts to create the effect that I want. And you can use it on all the different sides, and it is literally just using the dies that you particularly have and the bits that you want to use. So I have taken through a video showing how to use partial die cuts, which you can find on my YouTube channel. And I've gradually just gone back, changing the foliage, making it look a little bit different, until I get to panel 6, which is this one, and where I've got the end of the garden, so it's looking over the fence towards the sunset and opening out onto the horizon. And so panel 7 is actually not following that rule of decreasing the perspective, but I've actually opened it out a bit, and that's in order to form that open horizon. And I've used gold vellum in the cutout shape, as well as a couple of partial die cuts. And I've painted on some watercolour clouds on the back of the vellum. So actually the light is shining through. It's the wrong side of the painting facing forwards, but it just gives that cloud effect. And then I've encased the LED lights in a little box that I've made at the back. I'm not sure if it's going to be easy to show, but here is the little box which I've stuck over the vellum, and I've lined it with some the sides with black plastic, so that it doesn't allow the light to shine through, so all the light is coming forward. And then I've stuck all the panels on using tabs to each back of a valley fold, and that allows the cards to remain straighter. You always get a bit of bowing, but it is reduced considerably because I've used the tabs, which the best example that you can see is actually at the back, where I've attached. I did use a base plate at the back, which as it transpires I didn't really need, but I'll know for next time. And as you can see, I've got tabs that just stick it in place, so it allows some flexibility within that tunnel box and allows you to squeeze it flat fairly easily. Each of these valley folds is 2 centimetres, and that I found equates more or less to 3/4 inch and gives quite a good fold and makes it much easier to squeeze the concertina sides flat. So it has worked fairly well, and I'm quite pleased with it. I'm sure there are improvements that I will make for a subsequent one, but it is very definitely a method that works and creates a nice effect. At least I hope you agree that it does. I do go through all the detail about making this tunnel book on my blog, and also on a couple of other videos that I've made on YouTube featuring the partial die cutting and how to assemble the scene. And I hope that you enjoy looking at those too. Thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on my blog and once again on YouTube.